welcome to WestAfrica.News. I am Sam Roberts. For generations, Africa and the African diaspora have demanded more than remembrance for the transatlantic slave trade. They have demanded justice. Now, French President Emmanuel Macron has taken a significant step into that debate, saying the question of repairing France's role in slavery is one that must no longer be avoided. But France has not yet promised compensation. So, is this the beginning of real reparatory justice, or another powerful acknowledgement still waiting for action? For centuries, millions of Africans were captured, transported, and enslaved across the Atlantic. The system enriched European powers, including France, while leaving deep wounds across Africa, the Caribbean, and communities of African descent around the world. Now, France is being pressed to confront that history in a new way. On 21 May 2026, President Emmanuel Macron addressed the legacy of slavery at the Élysée Palace in Paris during an event marking the 25th anniversary of France's Taubira law. Passed in 2001, that law recognized slavery and the slave trade as crimes against humanity. But in his latest speech, Macron moved beyond the language of remembrance. He spoke openly about reparation. Macron said the question of how to repair France's involvement in slavery must not be refused. However, he also warned against false promises, acknowledging that no amount of money or words could ever fully undo such a crime. That distinction is important. Macron has not announced financial reparations, he has not created a compensation fund, and he has not presented a final program of restitution. But his use of the word reparation marks a major shift in the language of the French presidency. At the heart of this development is Ghana. Under President Dramani Mahama, Ghana has emerged as one of the leading African voices demanding reparatory justice for slavery and colonial exploitation. In March 2026, Ghana led a landmark resolution at the United Nations calling for global engagement on reparations for the transatlantic enslavement of Africans. The resolution was adopted with support from 123 countries, but France, along with other European countries, abstained. Now, only weeks later, Macron has announced that France and Ghana will work together on an international research initiative intended to make recommendations to political leaders on the legacies of slavery and possible forms of repair. President Mahama has welcomed the development as an important change in France's position. But the central question remains: what would reparations actually mean? For some, it means financial compensation. For others, it includes the return of stolen African artifacts, formal apologies, educational programs, memorials, investment in affected communities, and action against the continuing economic and racial inequalities rooted in slavery and colonialism. Macron has also supported the formal repeal of France's colonial-era Code Noir, the Black Code, which set out rules governing the enslavement of Africans in French colonies. Although slavery was abolished long ago, the Code Noir was never formally repealed. Its removal would be symbolic, but symbols matter, especially when a modern republic is trying to confront laws that once treated African human beings as property. Macron also acknowledged that the Élysée Palace itself was built with wealth linked to the slave economy. That admission carries a powerful message. The profits of slavery are not buried only in history books. They are visible in buildings, institutions, fortunes, and national power that still exist today. For Africa and the diaspora, this is why the reparations argument has refused to disappear. It is not simply about reopening the past. It is about confronting the ways in which the past continues to shape wealth, opportunity, and inequality in the present. France is not alone in facing this question. Britain, Portugal, the Netherlands, and other European powers are also being challenged to respond to the historic and continuing consequences of slavery and colonial exploitation. But France may now be approaching a decisive moment. A French president has publicly accepted that reparations cannot simply be dismissed. Ghana has helped push the issue onto the global diplomatic agenda, and Africa and the diaspora are demanding that historical recognition must now be followed by meaningful action. France has not yet promised reparations. There is no compensation fund, no final settlement, and no guarantee that President Macron's words will lead to material justice. But the conversation has shifted. The question is no longer simply whether France acknowledges its role in slavery. Will this become a turning point for Africa and the diaspora? Or will reparations remain a powerful word without practical action? This is WestAfrica.News. I am Sam Roberts. For more incisive and fresh perspectives on Africa, the diaspora, and the changing world, subscribe to our channel, share this report, and send your views to news@westafrica.news. Thank you for watching.
This is West Africa.News.